Johnny Cashmere, why did you betray your friend Joel Maximo?
My friend Joel Maximo. Didn't talk to him for 12 years while I was not in the wrestling business. I have plenty of fair weather friends. Let me tell you something. With friends like Joel Maximo, who the hell needs enemies? I'm not getting any younger. I got to fast track my career. If it means blowing out the other guy's candle to make mine shine a little bit brighter, I'm all for it, Dank. I don't care what anybody says.
It's terrible, man. Terrible, man. Johnny Cashmere.
I'm still gonna call you Pap, just because I'm I don't know what the hell I am now. I don't know what happened out there. You know, these guys. After that belt shot, I want you to know that they might have woken up something in me that hasn't been woken up in a very, very long time. I am CJ Bambino, the first ever Hall of Famer of this place, and the first ever Pride Heavyweight Champion. So, Hunter Grayson, if you think that you're going to keep that adrenaline title over your shoulder for long, you're wrong. Because I'm going to lay down the challenge to you at Wrestle Hell. Me and you, man to man, that belt on the line. It doesn't matter. 5-on-1, 6-on-1, 1-on-1, 7-on-1, 10-on-1. Doesn't matter. I'm CJ Bambino.
All right, CJ. Good luck to you in June. Wrestle Hell.
June, Wrestle Hell. You're still Pap.
Can't win them all. All right, so Tiffany Avatar just lost the Goddesses of War championship, and I heard she went to, Lucky Leo's, to sulk in the candy stuff. So let's go see how she's going. What the hell? Tiffany, are you all right, Tiffany?
Is that my buddy?
What happened? You lost the title.
She poisoned my lollipop, smashed me over the head with it. I don't have my title anymore, buddy. I can't go home. I can't go to Candyland. I don't know what to do. I'm just gonna lay with her, okay?
Oh, okay. All right, Tiff. All right. Man, that Amity, she's really tough. But... Wait, what? What the hell?
I just want to say that it was super rude of you to walk away from me earlier.
Talking to the New York State champion, you're going to have to pay up.
Do you take Kale?
Dude, goodbye.
Whip wreck, Cation, doesn't matter.
We'll see what happens, but it looks like we have a special guest.
Get my earplugs on.
No.
You was looking for Tina, and then you talk about
We're gonna dominate tonight, all right? The Dirty Deeds, they got nothing.
We're now the new Starlet Champion. What's going on?
Hi, I am fearless princess, so why not team up?
All right, now just announced by Mr. Joel Maximo for February.
Finisher is called the Shadow Ban, and I was like, that's kind of...
Hold on. Let me speak. Okay?
But today I got a very special guest. I got the great.
Welcome everybody to Beyond the Barricade. I'm your host, Papa Dank, and today, before we start, I just want to wish a speedy recovery to my pal, Brittany Brooks. Hope you get well soon, pal. All right, now let's begin. Now, last time we had this guest on, we had some Wi-Fi issues that were a result of my cat, Loki. He messed up the Wi-Fi. But anyway, let me bring to you my very special guest, the one, the only, Tyler Klein. How you doing?
I'm good. What a fitting name for your cat to cause all the mischief.
Loki,
I mean,
right?
Loki. Yeah. I mean, I'm a dog person myself, so,
He's pretty mischievous.
Obviously.
Tyler Klein interview, take two. That's right.
Exactly. Yeah.
All right, now let's go over some of your stuff real quick before we actually
Sure.
go into your history, since
Okay.
I
Well,
messed it up last time. All right, we have the David Lawless Bar Exam Part 2 from 18 Wrestling. Tell me what's going on here.
I didn't even look at that. I didn't even look at that title. Oh man. So Calvin Couture and I, obviously, I am one half of the Runway, Pittsburgh, one of Pittsburgh's premier tag teams. We are actually taking on the Den of Desire We've been going back and forth with them a couple shows, a couple times. We've wrestled Marco,
Uh-huh.
Narciso a few times, singles, tag, in a street fight. In this one, we're gonna take care of business with
Okay.
him and Busy Blake in the little den. Last time we wrestled back end of last month, we left a little bit of a statement. They decided to come to the ring before Pride Month with Rainbow and everything, and Calvin and I weren't having that as the premier Rainbow tag team here in Pittsburgh, so we let them have it with their own artwork, and I mean that was very
Nice.
desirable.
Nice,
So
nice.
this is gonna be a street fight. Not sure if it's gonna be a fashionista street fight just yet, which is Calvin's own creation, but it's gonna be a street fight and it's gonna be a lot of fun in New Kensington.
All right, now that on the bottom, I believe that is the unwilting Tatiana right there.
Yes, that is.
I just saw her recently at Victory Pro Wrestling up here in Long Island, and she was showing
Oh.
a mean streak with a kendo stick.
Oh man, I
Yikes.
hope she at least put flowers on it.
She did not.
And it's pointless. Why she use it?
All right, let's talk about
Uh,
this show right here as you guys are taking on Dirty Breeze.
Oh man,
What?
I know. So this is huge. This is huge for Calvin and I. This is huge for the
huge,
runway. Yeah, so this is all thanks to Enjoy Wrestling here in Pittsburgh. We're actually going to be running out of Stage AE, and funny story they posted today. 9 years ago,
Mhm.
Tyler Breeze main evented NXT when it was at Stage AE. And
wow.
this time he is back and he's with Dango and he's facing the runway, myself and Calvin. We are the staple tag team of Enjoy Wrestling. I mean, yeah, there's a 4-way match too with the titles on the line, but this is what people are coming to see. Calvin and I,
100%.
obviously, it's going to be. I mean, we're going to serve a couple violations for the former fashion police, and we're going to be
Gotcha.
rocking some brand new looks that I designed, of course.
No, I love the shades, man.
Oh, which ones? The ones I have on, or the ones in the poster?
Both, but the ones in the
Good.
poster say Runaway.
Oh yeah, I mean we got all kinds of new ones. We sell them as merch, and I've got new ones that are going to match our gear. I just can't debut them I can't even show them until the day of the show.
Until the day of the show. Got it. Okay,
Yeah, I'm keeping our look under wraps. We just got our gear back last night. So
Gotcha. All right, man. Now let's start off with some basic questions.
You got it.
And I know people hate. I just listened to someone say today, "Oh, you should talk about the same basic question." But as a podcaster, for the first time, we have to have these basic questions because people got to get to know you, right?
Of course.
So let's start off with how you fell in love with professional wrestling.
Okay, so I found love young age. I loved the characters of old school WCW, Rick Martel, Macho Man, anybody who had a larger than life character, the glitz, the glam, the fringe, loved it all. I am a big proponent of bright colors and eye-catching gear and eye-catching entrance, and I started off watching that when I was a kid. Had a lot of Hulk Hogan stuff in that, as well as a lot of Macho Man stuff. I had a jacket at one point. I had a book that you opened up and you were part of the story, and it was a kid's book. And it's been a while since I don't even know if I still have it, but it's like not a create your own adventure book, but it was an illustrated book from one of my family members where you were involved in a WWF show. It was pretty interesting, pretty wild. And then I fell out of it for a long time. I blame overprotective parents. Somebody cursed on TV, and my mom and dad would not let me watch wrestling anymore. But I snuck it because I'm originally from South Jersey, and living in the middle of nowhere, South Jersey. The only thing we really had was satellite, so I would stay up on, I think it was like Friday nights, super late, and actually rediscovered wrestling through CZW, which is kind of crazy. And I just remember, in high school watching some of my favorite people, and I've met one of them recently, Sexy Eddie. I love Sexy Eddie. I don't know why. I thought his character was hilarious. I thought it was great. You had him in the intro, Johnny Cashmere, LGBTQ wrestler. Him and Trent Acid, Backseat Boys, loved that.
Yeah.
Ruckus, geez, Nick Mondo, and it's kind of funny because I was never really a big like deathmatchy, like bloody fan, but it's the only thing I had
Right.
because WWF and WWE, that was on way too early. Unless I watched like a rerun of Monday Nitro,
Right.
it was on way too early, so I couldn't sneak it past my parents. So I had to go down to our living room, turn the volume all the way down on the TV because we only had like one TV, and just watch CZW at midnight when it came on like the local grainy, awful satellite.
Oh man, I just
Yeah.
saw Johnny Cashmere not too long ago, man.
Yeah, he comes out here. I mean, well, he comes out.
He's got
No,
Spo.
I think he's up in Erie is when
Yeah.
I know up out in this side because I'm in Pittsburgh.
He's got Spo Wrestling.
And yeah, it used to be called Revenge. And then that's I know. I'd love for him to come, work any of the promotions here in Pittsburgh, whether it be Enjoy, Rise, 2PW, any of those would be great. Especially if it's working with me and Calvin.
Yeah, that'd be great, man. He's
But
a really, really good guy.
Oh yeah, no, he's such an inspiration. After that, I went to college. Piddled around, wanted to learn how to wrestle, and go to a pro school when I lived in Greenville, South Carolina. After college, couldn't work into my schedule. Decided I needed a change. Moved to Massachusetts and actually started training at a school called Belltime Club up there in Massachusetts. Got my first start. First match was totally random. Funny enough, it was like it was like a 10-card. It was a 10-card match. And I think we talked a little bit about this last time. And originally they were like, "Oh, you're going to be part of this like gauntlet match or whatever." And I was like, "Okay, that's fine." And then my trainer came back to me. He's like, "Oh, I can't have you in that. So you're probably gonna have to cut like not do a match." I'm like, "Okay, that's fine." I wasn't expecting to even have a match. And he comes back to me, and a friend of his comes up, and it's a 300-pound Samoan. And he's like, "Oh, you're going to be semi-main now in a singles match versus this guy." And
Yikes.
And it was kind of funny because it's like one of my childhood heroes. Like one of my biggest favorite things growing up was the Power Rangers, and the original Red Ranger was at the show too. And I'm just like, oh man, I'm not only do I have to, I brought my friends to the show. I got to wrestle in front of a Power Ranger, and I'm just like, what is life right now? Only wrestled a few times up there until I became really good friends with Calvin Couture, my tag partner, roommate, best friend out here in Pittsburgh. Came out here one time, met a lot of local wrestlers, decided that I wanted to move out here in 2019. I was just getting started. We hadn't really come up with the runway yet. Pandemic hit, and really the runway grew out of, the pandemic. We would do no crowd shows kind of things. You get reps in. Eventually, started when shows started coming back, talked to and got to know a lot of other LGBTQ wrestlers. Effie, we were on the first Effie's Big Gay Brunch for GCW. Awesome. We've wrestled for them a couple times in Tampa and Philly this past Mania weekend. We were there, wrestled there, but the runway's kind of grown into its own big thing. And I mean, now look at us, we're wrestling Stage AE here in Pittsburgh, which is one of the bigger venues. That usually it's reserved for NXT, Ring of Honor, things of that nature. And we're wrestling, former WWE tag team in Dirty Breeze. It's kind of exciting.
Awesome, man. That's good stuff, man.
I know.
You got a lot going on, man.
I know. It's definitely, I mean, this is definitely like, it's Calvin's wrestled, geez, who did he work with? Gosh, it's MVP. Jeez, I don't know why it was slipping my mind.
Oh,
he had worked with MVP in a 6-man before we became a team, before I actually moved out here, and so that he's already got that kind of thing under his belt. But this is kind of like one of the first really big name tag teams that we've had a chance to work. We've obviously worked with Bussy with Effie and Allie Catch, but this is huge for us. And I don't know if the butterflies are setting in for me yet or not. It's less than a week away, and I'm just kind of sitting here like, oh man, that's why
in anticipation, right?
That's why I'm doing this. I have the poster right here, and I just keep on looking at it right on my desk, and I got to turn it away. Oh, nope, it's double-sided. It's double-sided. Never mind.
Can't
Yeah,
turn it away now.
Nope. A double-sided printed it for some reason. I don't know why I did that, but yeah.
Now, working with Effie, did he give you any great advice?
Yeah, really. I mean, Effie gives so much great advice to wrestlers in general, and it's, don't worry about what other people think. Don't just be yourself, be your authentic self. And that's what I think of. Like, I'm there, and don't be there. Honestly, the biggest takeaway is like, be there for the fans. They're the ones putting the butts in seats, and they're the ones paying to see you. Big thing with us is character, interaction, getting to see the fans, getting to know the fans, and I always love either boos or cheers when we go out that curtain, getting a reaction from the fans, because you could, in my opinion, you could do 20 high fly moves in a single match and not hear anything, but if you yell at a fan one time and they don't like it, oh man, game over. You've got them hooked, you've got them invested. They just want to boo you or they want to cheer you, and that's my biggest thing. So yeah, I mean, it was really just kind of like interaction.
Yeah, I think the worst thing that I've seen at a show is like a crowd that's just silent through the whole show, man.
Yeah,
that's like
a
buzzkill.
Yeah, I never want to be that match. I mean, when we come out and we strut our stuff, it's a lot of our looks are just, they're over the top, they're bright. I've got this ginormous jacket somewhere, has no sleeves, collar that comes up to here, and it looks like I'm wearing a comforter sleeping bag. It's great. It's one of my favorite things to wear. It's just black. Yeah. No glitz, no glam, but it's so interesting. Oh, it stands out. It's just so interesting because a giant puffer vest trench coat. And I mean, when I don't use it, I use it on my couch to play video games if I'm bored and just kind of sit there and, instant comforter.
That's like my good pal Tiffany Avatar. She's the cotton candy princess, and she just stands out. So she came one night to work out with me at the gym, and she just comes in her cotton candy look, and I'm like, okay.
Oh yeah, no, you can definitely pick me out. You can definitely pick me out the crowd at the gym. That's for sure. I don't go subtle. Usually it's like, I mean, this shirt's not subtle either. You can see.
I see it. That's good, man. I like it. Normal. Good shirt.
Thank you.
All right, Serena says, who would you and Calvin's dream opponents be?
Oh man. Gosh. If we're talking like singles, I don't know what Calvin's would be. Okay. Probably Calvin's, honestly, if I had to guess, Calvin's probably Shawn Michaels. He's got enough Shawn Michaels stuff, or Macho Man. I mean, mine currently, and I love this because I've always been a like a mid card kind of guy. I like Matt Cardona. I love Matt Cardona. I love Zack Ryder when he was in WWE. He was one of my favorite people to watch. I don't know why. I just loved it. Especially, I've got a whole bunch of his action figures, and they're just hanging up on the wall in my bedroom. And I've had to clean out a whole bunch of my action figures recently, and pretty much him or Finn Balor are the ones that I have never gotten rid of.
Do you have his Funko Pop?
Oh yeah, I've got two of them. I think I've got one in the box, one out of the box.
There's two different versions of it.
There's a green one. I think I have the purple one.
That's the
purple one.
The Funko, a Hollywood exclusive, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I don't live in Hollywood. I couldn't get it. But, I mean, I do have two of my own. Calvin and I have two of our own. Like, we had a fan make a Funko Pop.
Yeah, now you can make them through...
got a little kendo stick.
I like it.
I had a fan do that one, and then have a little one right here, and he's got little Louis Vuitton trunks on.
Nice.
And then the other fan creation, speaking of, is just, I don't know what's up with the head, but somebody gave it. Oh yeah, no, I've got way too many of them, things of me, of course.
So you're big into collecting figs and stuff?
Oh yeah, no, I've got tons of stuff. Whether it's, it's a lot of quite a few wrestling figures.
Okay.
Big time Power Ranger collectible, tons of those.
What's your favorite collectible that you own?
My $300 Megazord, which I shouldn't have was $300, but it's one of those ones where I had to have it. Okay. I found it eventually at a store, and it's only because the Triceratops' horns come out on chains.
Uh-huh.
And when I was a kid, my brother lost the horns on my Megazord, and I
Oh
could kill them.
no.
Yeah, I was not happy. But yeah, this one they're attached to a little change, and it's like really articulated. And I spent a whole bunch of adult money on it, but had to do
Have you
that.
have you ever had a chance to meet any of the Power Rangers?
Yeah,
Like do
I've
a
met.
cons?
I have met the original Red Ranger at at the wrestling show, at my
Okay.
first wrestling show in Massachusetts, and actually
Okay.
it's funny because I got to hang out with him the day before. He was doing a comic book signing in with the promoter, and my trainer was like, "Hey, we need somebody to go and kind of just help out. You want to go
Right.
there?" And I was like, yes, I do." So I
Sign
hung
me up.
out. Oh yeah, no, I mean I hung out with them. We talked. I've got photos. I'd
That's
love
cool.
to meet. I love meeting him, but I mean, my ultimate is like I'd love to meet the original Blue Ranger because um, he was like childhood hero kind of thing. When I couldn't watch
Okay.
wrestling, he was kind of the person I looked up to. And years on later, finding out he was LGBTQ and the story behind him leaving the show was very sad. But now knowing that
Oh,
he's like best friends with the Pink Ranger, and I've had him shout me out a couple of times on Twitter and live streams and stuff, and I've watched them. I'm just
I,
like,
I didn't know his story.
oh yeah, no, it's I mean, he was essentially bullied, for being gay
Oh,
out of the
that's
show. I
terrible.
mean, yeah, he was on there for a very long time, but it's a story you can look up, and he was bullied, and he's come back after production change and things like that. But um, yeah, no, he's pretty. It's been a goal to meet him. I just haven't been able to get to a con or anything like that where he actually is. So I'm waiting on it. Got to
David
come to
Yost.
Pittsburgh. Oh yes, got to come to Pittsburgh.
Well, Comic-Con is coming up soon.
No, I got several costumes I'm working on.
I,
Hopefully.
I gotta go to Comic-Con too, but Serena says it's Pride Month. What does Pride Month mean to you?
Oh, Pride Month means to me, I think it means, I mean, I was closeted for a very long time, up until my late 20s. I didn't come
Hmm.
out until I was probably a senior in college. Um, and even now, I'm still, fairly discreet. Like it means, to me, it means finding yourself. I used to be a wallflower. I used to not talk to anybody. I used to not have a lot of friends, and hiding who I truly was, where I used to live. It really sucked. And you know, once I started to embrace, being LGBTQ, being gay, and that, I finally started to accept myself, and that's kind of what it means to me. And I hope that other people, they find their own particular meaning in Pride Month. But for me, it's just about accepting myself, accepting who I am, and being happy with who I
Right.
am, and really kind of loving myself and what I've become, and being and honestly being a known and staple LGBTQ wrestler, and being bringing people and fans into that sort of demographic, and introducing to new people.
Okay, awesome. All right, good
Mhm.
stuff, man.
Thank you.
All right,
Mm.
Serena says, man, Serena's taking over. So what's one piece of advice you could give to someone who might be afraid to come out?
That's a hard one. I mean, for me, I'd probably say, it's scary at first,
Mhm.
and not everybody is going to accept that, or not everybody's going to accept it. And you have to be ready to look for those people that will lift you up and not tear you down. Look for those people that you can, you know, cry on their shoulder, talk to them, who are going to be there for you.
Right,
For me, it was my cousin, and she was there for me the whole time whenever I had issues, with my immediate family originally coming out, and still being able to be part of my larger family through her, and working on my relationship with my family, my more immediate family. And we've worked it out, and it's sometimes it's still a little rough, but I've surrounded myself with a found family, wrestlers, you know, uh, Calvin being my best friend, tag team partner, roommate, everything. And you'll find there are times where it's going to be hard, and you'll find people that will accept you for who you are. And it just sometimes it takes time, and just be patient. It always gets better.
Okay. Definitely amazing advice from
Mhm.
Serena. I agree.
Mhm.
Definitely amazing stuff, man.
Mhm.
Let me see. Where can we go? Let's go into out of the big three companies, or four companies, or
Mm.
five, whatever. Which one would you want to go to that best fits your style?
Oh man. Let me see. It's really hard. So like I watch indie wrestling more than I watch the bigger companies. I,
Okay.
I really like it. If I'm gonna put it like to a little bit thing, I really enjoy what NXT does, because I feel like NXT does a lot with a little bit more character and character building. And I know a couple of people who are in AEW. I know a wrestler, and have watched somebody who started out here in Pittsburgh, who's now in NXT, Thea Hale. She actually trained at Rise Wrestling. Um, in AEW, I've got friends that work there. Willow, Lee Moriarty.
Willow.
Um,
Willow's out from out here too.
Willow is going to be there on Sunday at
Oh
Enjoy.
wow.
Yeah, she is going to be there. Who's she working with? I think is it Billy? I think it's Billy Dixon. Yeah. Yeah, Willow is going to be working out in Enjoy, but it's a toss up between NXT and really AEW. Like uh I kind of enjoy like who's at AEW, and kind of the difference. Also, I'm a huge me personally, I'm a huge Sasha Banks fan. I know it's Mercedes Moné now,
Mercedes
but
Monet,
I
yeah.
love. I was always she's my favorite between her and Becky Lynch. Like they're my two favorite female wrestlers of all time. I like Bailey too, but yeah, like it's a real toss up between the two, because NXT is so much fun to watch, and what they just did with Jordan Grace is really
It was
cool,
really
and
cool, yeah.
Ethan Page
Right.
as well, just like kind of like shocking, and that's the kind of shock I like. Like not you're not expecting it, and that's why I kind of like how AEW and NXT do those kind of like shock values.
Yeah. Definitely didn't expect Ethan Page
Mm-mm.
to pop up.
Mm-mm. No, and I thought it was cool. Same thing with like Sean Spears, another one of my
Yes.
favorite wrestlers.
Yeah, Sean Spears is really underrated. Very
Hmm.
talented.
Yes.
Yeah. I don't know if he's injured or not, because we haven't really used him that much.
No, I don't know. I he could be doing something more backstage and small story bits, but who knows? Maybe he's just not clear yet, or But
Okay.
I'm happy to see him back, because I was always a fan.
What about your friend Thea Hale? What do you think of her work at
Oh,
NXT?
I love Thea. I love everything that she does. Like I'm always liking her stuff.
She's doing good
She is
stuff.
so full of energy. She's so talented. Like the everything she does, just it's so good, and it makes me laugh. Because she's a little firecracker, and she's so young, but Thea, like her first real match was televised
Yeah.
versus Thunder Rosa. So like she was on AEW and had a match with Thunder Rosa as her debut into wrestling. And
That's
then she
crazy.
came back to Pittsburgh, wrestled one match versus a very close friend of mine, Ray Lynn, and then she got signed. So I think it was like maybe a total of like 2 to 3 matches before she was down at the Performance Center, and now she's part of Chase U, which is such a cool
I love
little
Chase
fun.
U.
It's a fun group with full of
I do
really
love
fun
Chase U.
wrestlers. Hmm.
She needs to find a good friend there, because every girlfriend she meets
I know,
turns on her.
just turned on her, but it's okay. She doesn't need advice. She's good on her own.
She's doing good stuff no matter what.
Hmm.
100%. I love it. Oh yeah, Serena question.
Hmm.
If you could have an intergender match with any female, who would you choose?
Ooh, I kind of already answered it,
I
but
think
like
so.
I think Sasha Banks, but Becky's cool too. But uh, I had my favorite intergender match, and because I've had a couple,
Uh-huh.
but like I wrestled actually a local wrestler who's an amazing local female wrestler. Her name's Katie Arquette.
Katie
She
Arquette.
yeah, she used to tag team with Calvin before I
Uh-huh.
came around. They were part of a little group called Hollywood Couture.
Uh-huh.
and I managed him at one point for a show called Wrestle Rex here in Pittsburgh, run by Sam Adonis. But I wrestled her at a show called Pit Fight as a stand-in, Pit Fight as a stand-in for her opponent, and I owe her because like she rolled me up, and then for some reason she just wham smacked my ass. I'm like, I got up and I'm like, what in the world? I mean, she wrestled Calvin like a few nights before at another show, and I was just like, do we both owe you money? Because like, I mean, one, you beat me. Two, ouch. Like seriously. But Katie Arquette was probably my favorite. But as far as like an intergender match, I'd love to work, and I know it's probably it would never happen in a million years. Would be Mercedes Moné, Sasha Banks, just because she's so talented and one of my most favorite people or favorite wrestlers.
Okay. Oh, there's someone in the Instagram side that left you a message.
Oh, boy.
Official Flyme. Anyway, they say, thank you for working with me very early in my career back at UFO Wrestling. You and Calvin are two awesome individuals.
Oh, wait, all right. I gotta remember. I think, who was this? I know we were.
Know who it is.
I know. Well, Instagram names are so hard, but I remember one of the guys who was a little bit newer, because UFO they were using a lot of people from Bell Time Club who trained there, and a couple people I know, and we worked with a younger, newer, not necessarily younger, newer tag team. This was probably 2 or so years ago.
Trying to see who it is. Oh, it's Fly Noriega. That's
yeah. Mm-hmm. Yep, that's it.
I just saw him not too long ago.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I remember that now. Like, yeah, Calvin and I went up, and I want to go back up to Massachusetts. I'd love to work for UFO again. I've got a lot of friends up there still. Have made some friends, but yeah, no, it was a fun little match with them, and really kind of, I love it when I love it when people travel and not just stay in one area. I feel like you learn so much and you meet so many different people and learn from different styles of how people are taught, and you can take bits and pieces and everything and different styles. I mean, that's 100%. My favorite thing about traveling.
Hopefully you'll be out here in New York or Long Island.
I know. I'd love that, actually. I'd love for Calvin and I to get out there. We've wanted to try and branch out a little bit into the city, and try and get in that area, because easily I have a place to stay in South Jersey, so it's easy to travel. But okay. I might just get lost on Fifth Avenue shopping and forget about wrestling entirely, because that's what I do.
Maybe you might.
I have a problem. I have a problem with spending and buying stuff, especially clothes.
I have problems spending and buying stuff too, especially sneakers
in general. Oh yeah, no, I've got way too many. I've got
me too.
Way too many.
Me too, man. Way too many sneakers. All right.
I have way too many. I just have way too many clothes. Like, between me and Calvin, we have a third bedroom. We have a third bedroom downstairs that's just filled with just outfits and clothes and entrance gear. And I can't remember the last time like I wore an article of clothing twice, because I just kind of end up wearing it once,
right,
and then putting it in the closet, and then buying something else, because that's what I do. Yeah,
I have sneakers I haven't even worn. I've been there for like a while.
Mm-hmm. And then you find and then you go back and you're like cleaning, and you find that one random shirt you're always like, or one random article of clothing you're like, why haven't I worn this yet? Or when was the last time I wore this? It's like, I love this shirt. And then you put it on the top of the pile, and then you wear it once. And then like 2 months later, you come back and there's another shirt that you completely forgot about, or another pair of jeans. And I'm just like, or if I eventually clean, or well, not clean, but if I eventually fold my clothes, I'll go in there and be like, wait, where was this outfit? Why didn't I wear this outfit? Like, these pants, like, they're spectacular. I'm like, what the hell? Like, I've got to do a better job of at least cataloging, or hire an assistant. Probably an assistant.
Probably an assistant.
Yeah, I'm too cool to. I'm too important, too cool to do it by myself.
Too busy to do it.
Oh, I know.
I know. Trying to find time to get stuff done nowadays is really tough, man.
I have priorities. None of it's clean. None of it's putting stuff away.
All right. Tell me some of your goals for the rest of 2024, and Calvin, if you got it together.
Well, he's at the gym. I made him go away because I don't need him distracting me. Um, uh, man, I really the main goal for me is for 2024 is to have fun. Like
Okay.
I just love having fun wrestling. I love working in front of different crowds. Cheers, booze, doesn't matter. Like, please, envy us, hate us, whatever. I think another goal would be I'd want to wrestle on the West Coast.
Okay.
There's a couple promotions I'd love to work for. One of them being Full Queer, I think Wrestle Drag is
Wrestle
out there as
Drag,
well.
Arizona.
That's in Arizona. Hood
I just had
Slam.
yeah. I just had
Oh,
the owner on.
oh, you did. Oh,
Yeah.
that's awesome. Yeah, I'd love for the runway to go to Wrestle Drag. There's so many talented people like their champion Bryce Saturn. Sorry, Bryce, I didn't mean to say your name. I talk too fast. Prada, we've met before. He's the team with Jai Vidal. Love Jai Vidal. Prada now. His name's just Prada now. But there's so many different, like, really talented, and it's so diverse. Like, you have character, you have high flyers, you have heavy hitters. Like, I love. There's a wrestler called Barbie Boy. I love the gimmick. It's so great. He's doing he goes between doing a Barbie and a Ken gimmick. It's so I love it to death. Just Wrestle Drag is someplace, and Hood Slam as well. Anton Voorhees is another wrestler out there who does Hood Slam with Dark Sheik, and we've met Sheik a whole bunch of times. And I love to just kind of go out there and do, a Full Queer did Folsom, and I would love to go do Folsom. I don't know why. It just looked like so much fun last year. And everybody, if you know what Folsom is, yeah. But it looked so much fun that Full Queer did a show there, and I just it'd be fun to go out and do and work on the West Coast.
Okay, awesome. Tyler, thank you for coming on the podcast.
Of course. Thank you so much for not having a cat problem this time. But I really appreciate you guys bringing me on, and especially during Pride Month. It's such an important time.
Yes, 100%.
For your viewers, check out Enjoy Wrestling, check out Rise Wrestling, 2PW Wrestling, Where the Runway Wrestle. You can see it all on YouTube. But also check out your local LGBTQ and national, wrestlers. There's some amazing talents out there. There's some amazing people out there that I love. And just kind of give them the love that they deserve, because they're all freaking amazing.
100%. Let everybody know where they can follow you, and where can they get some of your merch?
Yes. Okay. So I have way too many social medias because I manage like 5. You can find my own personal social media on Instagram, _Tyler_Klein. I am on Facebook on Tyler Klein versus Mr. Design Tyler Klein, the page, and then I have a Tyler Klein profile, and Calvin can't make a Calvin Couture one because they don't let him. And then for Twitter, because I'm not calling it the other one, it's Tyler_Klein. And then also the Runway Wrestling on both Instagram and Twitter, where Calvin and I kind of share access and post every once in a while what the Runway is doing. I have to do a better job at that, but I'm going to make him do that, because
man, that's like a third job posting.
It is. And with the amount of let's see, 55,716 photos I have on my phone, you'd think I'd have more to post, but a lot of them are just pictures of my face with the tongue out in stills. I wish I had more photos to post, but there's only so many Versace sunglass photos I can take.
That's right. You can see all of the LGBTQ wrestlers on Brian F. Pro's amazing Pride collages.
Yes, we've been on there every year.
Give him a quick
every year
out.
Since Brian. I love Brian's stuff.
That's me too. Good stuff. He worked on something for me in the past.
Oh, he does such great work.
All right, what else is going on? As for me, this week I have the one and only Robbie Romero. That's I can't even say how he says it, but Robbie will be on this Wednesday, man. He says ROBBSIE. I don't know the way he does it. It's really cool how he does it. Also coming on, Layla James coming on Wednesday as well. So that's awesome. And coming up next, I have The Throne, Daniel Riley and Casey Lycan coming on. They got a busy weekend coming up ahead with SWA and Titan Championship Wrestling.
I love that you have Titan because I've worked there one time.
Oh, you worked at Titan?
One time. So it's the funniest thing. It's just a quick story. I worked there one time.
Uh-huh.
It was during the pandemic. It was in Delaware.
Uh-huh.
And we actually weren't scheduled to wrestle. We went there with a friend because she needed people to drive with them, with her. And Calvin and I went, and they asked me, they were like, oh, do you want to do a match for us? There's no crowd, nothing like that. I'm like, yeah, sure, fine. And I'm like, well, what kind? He's like, oh, it's a hardcore match. I'm like, okay, sure. Did a hardcore match. It's on YouTube somewhere. I don't know where it is anymore. But halfway through the match, I realized that, oh, cool, I'm wrestling for this hardcore title. I haven't used a weapon. Neither of us have. And I'm like, this is... So I grabbed a chair, and I just kind of...
Oh, no.
I DDT'd him on top of the chair, and I'm like, there we go. That's... I don't know what happened. I don't know what happened. I'm like sitting there, I'm like, well, we're in this like warehouse, and there's no weapons anywhere. And I'm just like, oh my god, what am I gonna do? Somebody find me a chair. I was like, normally if I do like some sort of hardcore match or street fight, like we do our fashionista street fight, and we have specific rules. Like it has to be, pink or glittery, or it has to be, it can't be ugly,
right,
or anything like that. And I'm just like looking around. I'm like, shoot, I have nothing, so I don't know what to do. So I just grabbed a random chair, and I threw it in the ring, and I did 2 things with it, and then I got hit. Unfortunately, I lost control of the chair and got hit with it, and that was it.
No.
But I was like, why? I just kind of afterwards, I was like, oh man, like that was probably the worst hardcore match ever because there was no hardcore. For a random chair.
Oh man, glad you got a chance to work at Titan, man.
Oh yeah, no, I've seen it. I know a couple people. Johnny Moran when he used to wrestle, and then Aaron Roxas was another guy I'm familiar with who've worked at Titan. So
Johnny retired, but Aaron's still there.
I know. Oh yeah, I know. I see what Aaron does. I like Aaron a lot. It'd be fun to go in there and work with him.
Yeah, Aaron's really good. He's scary though. Scary guy.
Oh my!
All right. Coming up also, Ruby Flyer on Tuesday, June 18th. Just announced by Serena on the Beyond the Barricade page. As well as Cody Bryan and Steven Styles, the Young Styles from Bluff City Wrestling next week. As well, this Friday night, I will be at SWA Wrestle Hell this Friday night. Get your tickets at SWA. Make sure you get your tickets for this Friday night. It's going to be a stellar match as Joey Conway, the Pride Heavyweight Champion, takes on Chris Caden. It's sure to be one hell of a match, no pun intended. And then Saturday is Titan Championship Wrestling presents Dad's Day, Death and Destruction. I will be there. The Deadly Sins, they're taking on Social Influence. It's a must-see match. There's a lot more matches, including Aaron will be there as well.
I think Brian put Ken Powers on one of his collages recently.
Ken Powers is there. I just saw him Saturday. He was at VPW up here. Really nice guy too. Also, check out my newest episode of Papa Dank Vlogs with Wrecking Ball from the NWA, Legursky. As you can see here, he's very excited about being on the show. Or something else. I don't know. You have to watch and stay tuned. I want to thank my friends at Wrestling Is Now. They gave me a shout out today for my collaborations with them, and I want to thank them. As you can see, they put my banner on their page right there with them. Thank you to the SATs. Very much appreciated. And to Skills for that. And just announced, coming up here is the big event in New York in November. Paul Heyman is one of the headline guests, and I heard it's almost sold out to see Paul Heyman. So get your tickets. Don't waste time. And, Papa Dank always does a big event. Announcements coming soon on who's going to be hanging out with me at big event. And I think that's all I got to say. I got to say no more.
All right.
I save my voice for 9 o'clock. 10 more minutes.
There you go. Well, I mean, I want to say thank you so much again for having me on here. And, thank you so much for including me in your Pride Month wrestlers that you have on here. I really appreciate it. Thank you.
Appreciate you
coming
Thank you
to Serena as well.
Thank you, Serena, as well. We'll be back at 9 o'clock. Tyler, hold on for a second. Everybody else, see you soon.